Hello everybody, this is Dale and Max with A1WebsitePro.com, and what we're doing today is showing you our new theme for WordPress. It's specifically for photographers and artists that want to showcase their work, and we had recently did it on HaleyHarnett.com. If you go to any one of these categories here, you can see that you could see the photos. They come up in a nice little jQuery, where people can paginate through the photographs, and then have the different categories for the different photos. So what we're going to do is we just installed a new WordPress in this A1WebsitePro.net/photo, and so we're going to show you how to take you from step one. We're going to click Add New Theme, Upload Theme, and then we're going to choose our file, and we have this photo show off that you'll be downloading at A1WebsitePro.com, and we'll just install it like that and click Activate the Theme. And you can see that it's right here when it's first activated, and if you visit the site right now, it just looks like this. Okay, so we have our sample page in the hello world. But now Dale, what do I do to change this picture up here, this photography WordPress theme picture?
Alright, so on the back end you'll notice that there's a new thing that says photography show off there, and the logo is in the very top, the general settings.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's where the logo image path is going to go. But first you have to go to your media and you have to actually upload your logo to the site before you...
Just like I'd upload any other picture in WordPress then?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to just grab a picture over here from our friend Jeremy Penn, New York City. And so what I would do is I would grab this little URL right here and insert it in there, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to copy this and then come back here to Photography Show Off, and then I'm going to open this up and just put the path, paste it as plain text right in there, right?
Yep, and all you have to do is save your changes.
Okay, I'm going to click Save Changes, and then if I go back to visit the site, I'll see, okay, so there's my image up there, my new image. Alright, so what are these other settings here, the background fill?
That's if you don't like the just plain white background. You can choose an image to go in there and it'll replace the white background on your main site.
Okay, and then this would be the email that we would enter for any contacting purposes?
Correct.
Okay, and then what's this top spacing?
Alright, so if you go back to the page, you'll see that there's really no spacing right above that logo. So if you don't like that and you want a little bit of spacing, what that is, that's right there, and then you adjust that in the height with pixels.
So I could put that like 25px. Do I include the px on it?
No.
Like that? Just 25. And then click Save Changes. Then I'll go back and I'll refresh, and voila, okay, I get some distance up there. Alright, so that pretty much covers the photography show-off general settings. How about the main pages?
Alright, so this theme comes with two main pages already built into the menus, your About page and your Contact page.
Okay.
Before you can, because if you go back, you'll see that those links are all automatically there on your main page.
So if I go back to Pages?
Correct. You have to create your About and your Contact page.
So I'll create an About page just like I do any other page in WordPress. Maybe something like About Us, is that good? We are cool. And then click Publish, right? And then what was the other page that I have to create?
Contact.
Okay. Contact. And then Contact Us. And then we could put like a form in there or anything, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so we'll go back to our photography show off, and then menu pages. From the About page, of course, I'll just select About, and then for the Contact page, I'll just select Contact like that.
Yep.
And click Save Changes. And then so if I go to the main site and refresh, I see I get Contact and About Us. Now how do I get rid of these other pages, like the Uncategorized and Sample page, Home?
Alright, for the sample page, you're going to go back to your pages. And you just want to trash it.
Okay. And then we just go here and refresh, and that should disappear, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so let's go back to the photography show-off options, and then, okay, so these menu pages, we've already established those and how to make those. Now, what's this menu thing? So I can include pages in the menu that aren't specifically there if I'm using like a custom menu?
Well, no, it would be if you created just a page and it wasn't showing up there, you can add the ID number into that field. You just separate, if there's multiple ones, you separate them by commas, and it'll automatically add it to the menu.
Okay, awesome. And so here's my featured settings. Now, so to choose a featured category, what would I have to do? I have to go into posts and make a...
Correct. Everything that has to do with the galleries is all done with posts.
Okay, so if I click add new, I would give my picture a name right here.
Well, before you do that, you actually want to go in over the categories of the posts.
Okay. An establishment. I could change the name to uncategorized, right? Because this is what this is showing up here. It's uncategorized. So if I change this name to something else, like maybe paintings, and then I give it the slug of paintings, then maybe a little description, just like that, and I'll click update just like that. Then whenever I go back to the home, it should show that it's paintings now. It's just these, so these are actually pages, and this is a category.
Correct.
Okay, all right. And so now anything that I add in this category, like if I want to do paint, and then
you actually don't have to put anything into
nothing in there.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you see right there, that's where the URL for the image is where it's going to pull from.
So I put the URL. So if I want to add media, I just click add media here, and maybe pull in another painting here. Let me get a nice big one here, 300 by 300. And then I'll just have this, and I'll click this, insert this into the post.
Nope.
No? Okay. How do I do this?
All right, so you want to go back to the add media, as if you were going to insert another post. Click on your picture, and then over here on the right down at the bottom, where that link is,
Okay.
you're going to want to copy that.
Okay, so just copy this whole link. Just like that there.
All right, and then you can actually X out of the insert in the post options and paste that link into the image URL right there.
Just paste it as plain text right there. Now, should I give it any, tick this so it goes in the paintings?
Correct.
And then maybe give it a tag of painting. And then just click publish.
Yep.
And then we'll go back to the front end here. I'll refresh it. And I see that I get painting right away. And then if I click on the category paintings, it's showing me, starting to generate that little thumbnail. So if I add another post, which I will.
Well, first, what you want to do, you want to go back and actually view all the posts, because that initial Hello World one is still there. So it's going to show the Hello World in the rotation.
Okay, so go ahead and trash that. And then I'll add another one here. Let's see if we can find another one of Jeremy's paintings here that we can use. Oh, these ones are pretty cool. I like this. So let me go ahead and add media. And I'll drag and I'll drop this. And then you say I'll just take this little, I'll copy this little link right here that gets generated. And instead of inserting into the post, click off. And then, you know what, I think I'll call this one lips, huh? Okay, so we got the title of it. I got the image down here. Now I'll put lips as a tag, add it as a tag, and I'll just click publish. And notice it's going in that same category, paintings, right? So it's going to show up underneath there.
Correct.
So I'll go ahead and just refresh this, and there we go. Now everybody knows why we gave it the name lips. Okay, so then they start. So that's how we start building our photography. So I noticed it doesn't really matter what size image. This will automatically conform to whatever size we have in there.
No, not necessarily, because right now you're using smaller images. The way that this is set up right now is you can use images that have a width up to 730 pixels.
And then it'll crop them?
No, oh, there is an option in there to automatically resize them, but it doesn't always give you the desired effect. It all has to do with, you know, the file format of your image and exactly, because it'll sit there and it'll conform it down to what it needs to, but it might end up coming out distorted looking because the aspect ratio might go off a little bit. Things like that. So I always suggest that if you're doing this professionally, you should already know, obviously, how to sit there and edit your photos. So I would recommend resizing them in Photoshop so that you don't lose.
So they're all the same size.
Correct.
So if we look at Haley's, see, she pretty much, I mean, she might have slight difference in her sizes, but you know, she has all her photos in there just like that. And now she has blog and Instagram here. I noticed that. How do we get that? What if we wanted something underneath ours? How do we do that?
All right, so that's back in the settings again,
Okay.
and that'll be in the localization tab.
Okay. So I put something maybe like this is a test.
Correct. And now everything in the middle area and the footer area, you're going to want to surround with list tags.
So like a list tag is an LI, just like this.
Yep.
Okay. And then I put a close LI. And then this is a test for the footer. Okay, and then I'll click Save All Changes. And I'll click Refresh here. And then, okay, so I get, this is a test, and then where does the footer one show up at?
It's down at the bottom of the
Oh, I see. It's real light text. This is a test for the footer. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Now, what if I wanted to change this from previous to, maybe I wanted to call it something else. You know, I know a lot of people, that's in localization too. If I want to say previous, I wanted to call it.
Correct. All those tags are in there. That makes it so if you're, like, say, if you're porting this over to another language, they can sit there and put their local language.
Oh, okay, I see. So before and after, and I click refresh, and then now I get before and after. Okay, that's really cool. Is there anything else about localization that I should know?
Nope, that's it.
And then how about these titles?
Well, in the titles area, you can actually select, because right now it's on, so if you go back, every time the picture changes, the title does too, and it's right underneath it. It's the title that you assign.
Oh, okay, so that's right underneath there. So if I wanted that off, like if I select lips, it's going to show me lips underneath here. Okay, all right, I see that. So, and if I wanted it to be off, I would just click off then.
Correct.
Okay, now, as far as this gallery setup goes, what's this all about?
All right, so the setup, that has to do with the actual gallery itself.
Okay.
It's only on these pages.
Okay. So
here,
all galleries are categories.
correct.
Okay.
Now here, when you first load this page, it'll actually sit there and cycle through, just as if you were to hit play.
Okay.
It'll sit there. Now it's set up automatically by default. Whenever one of your users loads the page, that auto show will automatically be on. But if you don't want it to automatically cycle, you're able to turn it off. This shows us how fast it's going to go. It's automatically set to normal. You can go slower or faster.
Okay.
This is where the resize images is that we were just referring to.
Okay. So I can resize the image by making sure that they're all the same size if I enable that?
Correct. What it'll do is the larger ones.
Okay. So we have two images on there that are kind of two different sizes right now. So it'll make...
It won't actually do it because they're within the limits of what the script was designed to do. Now, if you had one that was wider than 730 pixels, it'll sit there and attempt to shrink it down.
Oh, it'll attempt to shrink it down. Okay, so if you put one that's too big, it will attempt to shrink it. Okay, so, and then we could choose our featured category. Of course, right now it's just paintings, but if we could make as many categories we want. Now, isn't it true that we could make another category right here by just, if we wanted to say, you know, houses. Maybe they're taking pictures of houses. So that'll assign anything that we do here to that category. Let me just grab another picture. Let's see here. Grab this painting right here, and we'll upload it, and I'll grab that URL right away, and I'll put it down here just like before. This is pretty easy to use. I would have to say, you know, considering a lot of other things, you know, you have to do a lot of other stuff, but this is pretty much straightforward. You put the URL in there, and look, houses are already there, and we have our picture of what we uploaded there. Is there anything else about this theme that you could tell us that we should know about?
Well, going back to the featured settings, if you leave it as choose a category, it'll actually cycle through all of them, through all categories.
Okay.
This will actually sit there and limit it to this. Now what this is on the front page of your website.
Okay.
It'll automatically start cycling through them all here
Okay.
on the front page.
So if we only wanted one picture on the front page, we would make that category and make that the featured, like Haley Harned has on hers, the dog.
Correct. And then
Okay.
like, let's say you have, 6 or 7 different categories going on up here. You don't want every one from every category to show. So what you can do is you can actually go over here and create a new category. And you could just call it featured or whatever you want.
And then, just like this here. I could almost see a lot of, photographers that do weddings, birthdays, holidays, having those as different categories that they put in this theme, and that way they could display their work, and then of course a contact form.
Now another thing real quick, because you saw how it automatically adds these to the menu.
Yeah.
Now there's nothing in featured,
Right.
so since there's nothing here, it's not actually going to show up.
So it won't show up until you actually put something in there.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. Then that way you can create all your categories first, and then go back and add your images. It's pretty simple.
Alright, so let's say that I want to add this to our feature. Just go through and we'll update that.
So we could put the same painting in 2 different categories.
Alright, so now you'll see that there's feature there, but maybe you don't want it there. Maybe this is just only to control the pictures being shown on the front page.
Okay.
So what you'd do is you'd actually go to it.
Okay.
And you're going to get the actual category number.
Okay. So the category numbers from what I've done in the past is if you go to the actual category and you hover over this featured, you wait till on the bottom here, it'll give you the ID, and we can see if you look toward the bottom of the screen, it says 6. So that's the category ID, and go ahead and show us where to put that.
That'll go right here into the exclude categories.
And so we'll put 6 there. Go ahead. Save the changes. We're fighting over the mouse. Oh, okay.
So it actually removed it from there. And then what you can do in the featured settings, you can choose featured. So then everything that you assign to that is actually now what's showing up on the front page, but it's not an actual menu item.
Right on the home page. Okay, I see. And then so you click the home page because this is always linked to the home page. All right, well that's pretty cool. And so that's about it. Pretty simple, straight to the point. And then if we wanted to reset all our settings, we could click reset at the bottom, right?
Correct. And then right here you can set to where if you have more than 50 images or whatever, or if you end up getting more than 50 and only 50 are showing, you can up that number.
Now that's per category, correct?
Per category, correct,
Okay.
on each gallery page.
Okay.
And then these numbers right here, those represent
The height of the thumbnails.
right there.
Gotcha.
So if you want them a little bit bigger, you can go ahead and manually adjust those numbers.
Oh. And now that'll adjust it for everything on the site, correct?
Correct, for all the thumbnails for every gallery.
Okay, so if I don't have a lot of pictures, I might want bigger thumbnails.
And I believe that's about it.
Awesome.